Good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Let me begin by thanking Premier Lance, thanking the Council of the Federation for bringing us together for a very productive meeting of First Ministers. Il s'agissait de notre 14e réunion depuis mars dernier et de notre 5e rencontre en personne, à l'heure où le monde est de plus en plus divisé et incertain. Nous choisissons de nous unir. Nous choisissons de bâtir ensemble. We're in Charlottetown, so I will hearken back to Confederation. More than 160 years ago, the Charlottetown Conference laid the foundation of this country. Many advantages. We look back, though, as well. We recognize that that founding was imperfect. It excluded too many, but it laid the stones on which we can build. And in generations since, Canadians have improved upon it, extending the promise of this country to those it once left out and to those whom we have welcomed to our shores. And we have defended it through crises and tests. We're faced tests today. As everyone knows, on Monday, the U.S. administration announced its intention to impose the latest in a series of unilateral and unwarranted trade actions. Let's be clear about how Canada is responding. Yes, we are intensifying our negotiations with the United States in pursuit of a comprehensive agreement that addresses all tariff-related sectors. In all circumstances, irrespective of the outcome of those negotiations, Canada will do whatever it takes to build our strength at home and to support Canadian families, workers, our farmers, our businesses. We're ready. We're ready because we have been focusing on what we can control. And that's building our strength at home, buying Canadian, backing Canadian workers, building Canadians. That's the resolve of Canadians. That's the foundation on which we're building. We're a reliable partner in a world that's anything but. So we're diversifying our partnerships abroad. The First Ministers at this table have been central to that effort. Provincial premiers have led more than 50 trade missions, since we last met in person in January, and over 130 since I became Prime Minister. Our government, the federal government, has signed more than 20 new economic and security partnerships because Canada has what the world wants, and Canada believes in the benefits of free and fair trade. We're also ready because of what we know in our bones, that our unity is our greatest strength and our destiny is in our hands. C'est dans cet esprit que nous sommes réunis aujourd'hui. Nous prenons des mesures pour que notre réseau énergétique soit plus abordable, plus concurrentiel et plus sécuritaire. Nous accélérons les grands projets qui vont transformer notre économie pendant des générations. Nous éliminons les obstacles à la mobilité de la main-d'œuvre et au commerce intérieur. Et nous allons continuer d'agir ensemble avec détermination et avec force pour protéger les travailleurs, les familles du Canada et faire avancer nos intérêts nationaux. Now, we spent a fair bit of time today, in addition to talking about trade, to discussing an electricity strategy. Par exemple, l'objectif de la stratégie nationale d'électrification est de doubler la capacité de notre réseau et de fournir une énergie propre, fiable et abordable dans toutes les régions du pays. Lower energy costs, greater energy security, fewer emissions, building a strong connected grid is how we will achieve all of those objectives at once. And there's already examples. This morning, our government announced an investment in a new subsea power cables across the Northumberland Strait between New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. Thank Premiers Lance and Holt for their leadership on that. This is the kind of project that's been needed for years. It's the kind of project we need to build up more and more quickly. In addition, today, Premiers Holt, Houston, and Lance signed an agreement to plan and operate their electricity systems together, and the federal government will support that work, increasing reliability, lowering costs, increasing competitiveness for maritimers. Now, becoming an energy superpower, delivering those benefits for Canadians means more than just a connected grid. It means getting big things built in every part of the country. The agreements between the federal government and the government of British Columbia, the agreement with the government of Alberta, clear the path for major projects in both provinces, projects in clean and conventional energy, in transportation, critical minerals, projects that by themselves, just by themselves in these two agreements, will catalyze well over $200 billion in direct investments in Canada, creating almost 200,000 new jobs right across the country. Benefits shared wisely, benefits shared with the Indigenous peoples as full partners, and creating resources for the social programs on which Canadians rely. All of these examples, and they're examples of a bigger picture of cooperative federalism at work, and we are just getting started. Et maintenant, pour rester concurrentiel, nous devons nous assurer que les bases sont solides. Le Canada doit stimuler les investissements tant dans le secteur de l'énergie propre que dans celui de l'énergie conventionnelle. Nos marchés de carbone doivent aussi être conçus pour attirer des investissements, réduire les émissions au fil du temps et maintenir la compétitivité de nos industries à l'échelle internationale. Et notre gouvernement va travailler avec les provinces et les territoires pour mettre à jour un modèle de tarification du carbone. We also are acting to take down barriers that we've built that exist within this economy. Today, we agreed to work towards agreement in principle, to adopt model mutual recognition, to build one Canadian market, to let Canadians work wherever their skills are needed, drawing on the best advantages of provincial legislation. The Committee on Internal Trade will begin that work this summer. If we get this right, a nurse licensed in Ontario who moves to Nova Scotia will be able to start caring for patients right away. A manufacturer in BC who's already approved to sell engineered wood for homes in Alberta will be able to sell it anywhere in Canada instead of waiting years for that. It's workers and goods moving freely, growing our prosperity. Final point. As First Ministers, we share a fundamental responsibility, which is to keep Canadians safe. And Premier Ford, when you hosted us last year in Muskoka, we had a robust discussion, a series of reforms that were needed to the criminal code, measures to improve community safety. So we've strengthened the criminal code at the federal level, passed 6 laws to combat crime, give law enforcement the tools they need, toughen bails, toughen sentencing. And today, we endorsed a practical joint action plan to continue to make communities safer, building on the progress we've made over the last year. To conclude, we came to Charlottetown as First Ministers with a shared purpose, which is to build a stronger, more prosperous, more independent, more resilient, and united Canada. In a moment when others would choose to divide, we choose to build. This is the Federation working as it should. This is why Canada is ready. We'll continue meeting, keep delivering until the job is done to build Canada strong.